Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we had the second round of the playoffs against a very tough Colorado Avalanche team, and unfortunately we lost, but like I mentioned in last episode, it was a good learning experience for young players to get that experience against a very proven team. So hopefully we could turn to being like one of those type of teams down the road. We are building up a very solid foundation of prospects. We just need to obviously add some more to our defensive core, I'd say, and hopefully get a lot of good development. And I think we'll be a pretty good team soon enough because we do obviously have some very good forward prospects at the moment that are signed for long-term deals. Also some guys in the minors who are developing quite nicely. So we're starting to build that good foundation that should help us in terms of making the playoffs for quite a long term, which is very, very exciting. But anyways, before we get into the draft and resign stage, I do have some comments to go over. So let's get into your guys' comments and see what you guys have to say about our young team. So our first comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, hopefully Aiden Irving will continue to develop and earn himself a place in the top 6. As far as signings, you should keep Kupari and Kolyachonok as depth options since they are pretty cheap. Mostly everyone else I'd say is expendable since next season should be the official start of the rebuild. I think Nikitin or Labrie would be worth moving up for, though as you said, only if the teams are willing to move those picks into a trade. Other than that, Cizik and Wilson as medium top 6 power forward and sniper respectively might not be bad to take with the selections you have. So yeah, I'm hoping about Aiden Irving. He develop into being that good, like low late top 6 forward. He doesn't really get a lot of development. It seems like he's still an 80 overall. If he's like an 82, 83 next season, then he might be one of those guys that could actually get into our top 6. But right now he's still more of like a third line / fourth line guy. But he did have 29 goals in his rookie season, so hoping that he could build upon that in future years. He's a very promising prospect for sure. And he was saying in the draft to potentially move up for Nikitin or Labrie, which I don't know if we're going to be able to move up that many spots, but there is a chance. We do have 2 first-round picks this year. We also have multiple seconds. Nikitin and Labrie I think are supposed to go top 10, if I remember right. Yeah, they're supposed to go top 10 and 11. So these two guys, it would be nice to move up for one of them, but I don't know if we'll be able to. It really depends on if the team actually wants to move those picks or not, and if we actually have the assets we can move, which we probably do because we have the multiple firsts, we have the 4 second-round picks. So I think we could move up a lot of spots, but obviously it's going to probably take a lot of work for us to move up that much spots, but we'll see if it could happen. And if it can't happen, then we'll definitely look at getting Cizik and Wilson, which are both top 6 forward prospects that look decent. As you can see here is Logan Cizik. He looks pretty good, very solid shooting categories. Would be another solid prospect to add to our pool on the offensive side of things. And then Wilson is a sniper, and once again, very good shooting categories. And will probably take a little bit of time to develop, but still will be a good player to bring in. We also do need to still add more defensive prospects, as I mentioned, but this draft class doesn't look good defensively, so there is a chance that we might not get a lot of good defenders in this draft, but hopefully in the future years we can. Like, hopefully we could get a guy like Panic in a sense because he's a top 4 guaranteed. There's also goalie prospects we could bring in if we want to bring in more goalie prospects, but I definitely think defense is a huge priority for this team, especially in the later rounds after the first round, because I don't know if we're going to end up taking guys that are top 4 potential, because the only suggestions were from Saturn Otaku, who said to take the forwards, so we'll probably end up taking those forwards unless we absolutely can't for some reason. The next comment is from Rahul B, who says it might be worth considering on cashing out on the trade value of those players who overall went up due to statistical growth in the draft or off season, because they could easily lose that next season if they don't have a good year. So I don't know which players that were. I don't remember exactly, but it would make sense to do that. But at the same time, some of the guys are actually key pieces of the future to stay here, like Michelli, for example. He got a lot of statistical growth, but Michelli is still going to be here for at least another few years while we wait for guys to jump up past him. And then like same with like Chinnikov and whatnot, those guys are going to be here still for a bit longer. Like, they're kind of good stopgaps until our young prospects are ready to take that jump and knock these guys out of their spots. The next comment is from Michael Dose, who says, if a lot of guys are going to the from the AHL to the NHL, then I would use all your picks to replenish the AHL. And I'm going to do my best to draft guys that can play in the AHL right away, but obviously if we can't play them in the AHL right away, then so be it. But We do have, I think, a lot of unsigned guys still at the moment that we could bring into the AHL team, like Nilstorp, for example. He's ready to play in the AHL. You also have, I think it was, Nordstrom. He could probably play in the AHL next year. Ranta could play in the AHL. So we do have a lot of guys that could make the jump and fill in those voids in the minors. And then the final comment is from Souls, who says, as an Oilers fan, I want this version of Stuart Skinner, LOL. It looks like there's some good options around 10 in the draft. I would try to move up there, but no later than 12th. So he's pretty much saying right around the same spot as where Saturn Otaku was mentioning, where Nikitin and Labrie are. So we will definitely try and move up into that area and see if we could get those picks. If we can't, obviously, we'll probably just keep with our own picks and see what we could grab with them. But let's hop into the draft and see what we could get. And then also Resign stage-wise, we will definitely try and obviously get that youth integrated into our roster for next season. Hopefully there's also some intriguing players in the free agent market for next episode that we could potentially bring in to help out our team, or flip away if our team isn't doing well enough. But yeah, let's take a look at this top 5 of the draft. The Islanders have number 1, followed by Columbus, Calgary, St. Louis, and Vancouver. So let's see what the Islanders take at 1. Actually, I should probably try and move up first. Yeah, let's try and move up to the 10th or 11th spot, which both of them are not able to be dealt for. So I don't think we're going to be moving up, unfortunately. The highest we can move up is 16th, it looks like, because I'm not going to try and trade to a team that doesn't want to move their pick. So unfortunately, we are not going to be getting one of those guys that we were looking at, but that's okay. We definitely will take those top 6 forwards that Saturn Otaku was mentioning, I think, instead, because I just don't think it makes sense to trade with a team that doesn't want to move a pick, like Carolina. Like I said, they don't want to move the pick. Even if we were to try and trade for this, we'd have to give them 18th for sure. We'd probably have to give them 22 as well in this deal. Yeah, we'd probably have to give them 22, and we'd probably have to give them, like, I don't know, 60th overall. Maybe not that much. Maybe it would just be the 2 first rounders. Maybe not even the 2 first rounders. It would probably be like 18 and like 53 or something like that would get it done. But I don't think it's worth it to move up 8 spots potentially. So I think I'm going to keep it the way it is right now. Because with our second round pick, since we have so much, then we could potentially grab some top 4 defensemen if those guys that we were just looking at are still available. So we're going to keep with our picks, but there was a chance we were able to move up. But anyways, Islanders at 1 take Haken, who's an 84 overall power forward. That is a very nice pick there for the Islanders. Very good overall out of the draft. Very good shooting categories. Yeah, this guy should be a stud for the Islanders. It's kind of weird that he has Shutdown as a power forward, because usually I think of Shutdown more as a defensive X factor, but still, there's the first pick. And then Holmes goes 84 overall sniper. So this is a very strong part of the draft in terms of overall rating. Also very good shooting categories, more offensively inclined because he's a sniper, not a power forward. Yeah, that's another very good pick in these first 2. What is Calgary going to get at number 3? They get an 80 overall in low. Ty Low, what a name. Sniper as well, very good shooting categories. Lower offensive awareness, but once he develops that up to like a 90 overall, this guy should be able to score pretty well. Let's sim to the next pick. The Blues take Rosehill, who's an 82 overall playmaker. So yeah, this top 5 is very solid. Like, maybe we'll come back to this draft at some point and be like, oh, this was one of the best drafts in this entire franchise mode. So there is Isaac Rosehill, very good passer. And Vancouver, finally at 5, is going to take an 80 overall medium elite in Bouillon. Philippe Bouillon, defensive defenseman. Don't really like defensive defenseman that early in the draft, but still, that's a solid pickup for the Canucks. Let's sim to our pick at 18. And Sizik just went off the board right before our pick. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that in the slightest. So Sizik is not going to be ours, unfortunately, either. Wilson should be still available, which is good, but we're going to have to take a chance on a random guy. And Labrie was only a 77 overall top 4. This is one of the guys that Saturn Otaku was mentioning. He looks very good offensively, though, as a top 4. And then there was also Nikitin, who was a 79 offensive defenseman. Damn. Maybe it was worth moving up and grabbing one of those guys, because both of them being offensive defensemen, but only top 4 potential. It wasn't like they were medium elite, but still. So there is that. Let's see if we could get something good with our pick here, since, yeah, who was the other guy? Wilson, maybe we said? Yeah, Wilson's not supposed to go till later. We do have another pick in a couple spots, so I might have to take a chance on another guy. I might go with one of the defensemen. like Barnett or Pratt, just because I know we need defensive prospects. But they're not guaranteed to be that good. I might take a chance on Barnett, to be honest, though. Barnett and Wilson as their picks. Because we know there's more defenders supposed to go next round. There's also Dollywall, but he's probably not medium elite. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that defenseman here. Technically, I could go with a guaranteed top 6 forward in Shing time. But it's not necessary, I don't think. Reese Campbell looks pretty good. But it would be just nice to get ourselves more defensemen. This guy's looking not that great since he's 4 years out. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a chance with the defenseman here. So Alan Barnett is going to be our first pick of this draft. 64 overall, medium top 4, two-way defenseman. That's not bad. That's not bad. I was hoping for a better potential, but this guy could still definitely be very useful to our team's prospect pool because obviously we don't have a lot of defensive prospects, so this is a good added addition to the guys we have like Galvis. So I do like that pick. Pratt was a little bit worse, so glad we didn't take him. Shing time was a 65 overall, so technically we could have got a better player there, but I wanted to go with the defenseman instead. And Philly is going to take Campbell, who's a 64 sniper. Okay. So our next pick at 22, we will take Wilson with this pick, though. So that way we at least get a forward prospect in. So Caden Wilson should be probably around the same overall as the other guys, my guess. Like a 64 overall. Let's see. Yep, 64 overall, medium top 6 sniper. Let's take a look at his attributes. Pretty solid. Very low offensive awareness right now, but if he develops that, he could be a good goal scorer. So there is Caden Wilson. And there is our first 2 picks of the draft. Let's send to our second rounders now. And this is where it's going to get interesting because we have 4 second round picks. And they are all very close in pick wise. You can see we have the 28th there. And then we had 22nd, 21, and also 18. I should have probably looked to see if there was anybody worth moving up with those second rounders instead. But I made that mistake. But it doesn't look like there was really much. I mean, we could have tried to move up to get Charpentier or Hartnell, but not really worth it. Oh, there was a lowly Mika Lutonen. That would have been very nice to move up for, but I didn't even realize that guy was a lowly guaranteed, so that kind of sucks. I guess we're going to have to try and make up some good choices here in the second round. No guarantees on Richard, but he's the most highest projected out of the bunch. This draft class definitely looks like it's dipping off a bit. This guy's 4 years out, which makes me feel like he could be a low elite. Pierce Bishop honestly might be our pick. He also could be a low 4 though. Seabrook. Yeah, I think I might go with Bishop here. There is a goaltender supposed to go, but we could take him with our next pick if we want to. Is there any guaranteed low elites at this stage or anywhere in the draft? Because I don't remember. There could be these guys, but they're not supposed to go till like round 3. We could take them with later picks here, this round 2. Elliot Hayes. I think we're going to take a chance on Bishop here. So Pierce Bishop from Brandon. Welcome aboard. Medium top 6 defenseman. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, not the best draft for us so far up to this point. I mean, we're getting some solid additions, but it's not like anything groundbreaking. But Pierce Bishop, not bad. I mean, he could develop into being maybe a very solid AHL top 2, but maybe he'll become an NHL defenseman at some point. Let's send him to our next pick and see if we missed up on anything. And Richard going to Montreal is kind of funny. Rado was top 9, so we didn't really miss it on too much there. Should we go with a low 4? This guy actually looks pretty solid for a low 4, to be honest, at 18. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys that could actually make it, so. Do we take him or do we take a chance on Viklund, who could be a low elite? I might go with Viklund as my next pick, but I'm going to go with Roach for this pick. Let's go with Roach, low 4. He looks actually not that bad. 63 overall at 18 is pretty good. He could also develop into being a good defensive prospect if he gets the right tools. But like I said, a lot of these guys could end up being very important defensive prospects for us because we don't have a lot of them at the moment. Gervais was low 4. Viklund was low 4 as well. Oh my goodness. Poirier was a high elite goalie? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, That's going to come back to bite me regular season-wise at least, but this guy's probably going to be trash in the playoffs. That's my prediction for 10 years down the road. I should have probably went with the goalie. Wow, high elite. Was not expecting that. Well, okay. But I think that guy's not going to be good down the road in the playoffs, my guess. Because I never have luck with elite goaltenders. So, let's go maybe with a forward here. Let's go with McGillis. And he's a medium 9, 63 power forward. Yeah, we're not having the best draft, but I mean, some of these guys could end up surprising me in terms of development if they're playing with the right players in the AHL, have the right coaching staff. And now we're into our 3rd round pick, and I don't think we pick almost till like late, right? When's our next pick in this draft after this? Got to double check on that. Yeah, we don't pick to the 7th round after this, so with this pick, we are going to have to take whatever we think is the best player. There could be a low elite here in Trevor Harris. Maybe not. He's maybe a low 6. Is that a Devin Setaguchi? No, Dorian. The Goocher. Shout out if you know where that's from. Maybe a low elite in Turikov. Let's take a chance on Turikov. I honestly don't know what to take in this draft anymore. Low 9. That's not a good pick. And now our last pick of the draft. Kind of a quick draft for us just because of the fact we didn't have a lot of mid picks. But let's see if we could find anything here that might be warranted of a steal. Jean Duchesne. Might be a little elite. Healy. Also could potentially be Tertukin. I am not sold on the rest of this draft, just to be honest. De Verdun. Let's just go with Jean Duchesne. Why not? He could be a low elite. And he's a low 6. Okay, so not the best draft. I was hoping for a better draft for our team, but unfortunately it wasn't really. Barnett and Wilson are solid picks. And then Bishop, Roach, and I think it was Seabrook are all kind of wild cards. Oh! I think I auto-simmed our next pick because I forgot that we had a back-to-back. Oh boy. Well, that's okay. Seabrook was somebody on my list. I don't know how good he was, but we auto-simmed one of our picks. Oops. I'm not used to having the back-to-back situations, so that's what threw me off. But, oh well. We'll take a look and see how good Seabrook is at this resign stage. But this is the more important part, is the resign stage right now. AHL coaching staff-wise, I am going to let go with both AHL coaches because the AHL team didn't make the playoffs, so we will look to replace those guys. In terms of scouts, do we need to bring anybody back? Let's just bring them all back for now. And then obviously next episode we'll look and see if there's some better scouts out there for us. Because obviously we could replace some of those B scouts with A scouts. And these C scouts as well that we have. But some of these guys might end up developing, which is good a little bit. So there we have it. Okay, resign stage. Let's see what we got. We have a buttload of cap space. We might need more cap oils this offseason. But let's start by giving Logan Stankoven a 6-year extension, because why not? This guy's a serviceable 3rd-line center, and this will be a very good money contract. So let's try the 85% trick on him, because he's the big one this offseason to bring back. So 6-year deal at 2.7 should get it done, hypothetically, which would be a very nice deal for this team. I am not going to send a qualifying offer to Fanasayev and a couple other RFAs, just because we could probably replace them. Alec Regula as well. We are going to be bringing back Kolyachonok, though, as a depth defenseman, as Saturn Taku was mentioning, so 1.5 for a year should get it done. And then we got a couple guys that might be jumping to the NHL, like Hellenius. Do I let go of some of these AHL defenders? There might be some UFAs I could let go of, but I think I am going to let go of Nikitanen for sure from the AHL. Torgerson as well, because we don't really need those type of guys anymore. Colton Ellis and Thomas Milic. Ellis only wants a 2-way deal. I don't mind Colton Ellis. You know what? We'll bring back Colton Ellis. And I am going to let go of Milic, I think, though. Yeah, we're going to let go of Milic. So we're going to leave that for now. Kupari is a depth option. How much does he want? Not a lot at all. So we'll bring him back on a 1x1. Should be able to get that done. We are going to let go of Fortier. We are going to let go of Gustafsson, Kurashev, Salo, Studnicka, Ullinen, Chisholm, and then we will sign these guys for the AHL probably mostly. Maybe not actually, some of them. We are going to let go of this guy because he's not going to pan out. Do I bring in Skirbic? He's got actually very good passing, so he might be able to succeed at the AHL level. So you know what? We'll give this guy an ELC. We will probably let go of these two guys though because they're not going to pan out. And then Lucas Dostal, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. He does want an actual good contract, but we will give him a 1-year deal at 5.8 if he wants to accept that. And then unsigned wise, I am going to sign some of these unsigned prospects for the AHL just to get more players into our system. Because like I said, we let go of a bunch of them so these guys can get in. We'll probably wait on Barnett and stuff for now though. Yeah, we'll probably wait on Barnett, Wilson. Seabrook was a low 6, so this is what we end up taking in the second round. It's okay. I don't mind it. But yeah, it wasn't the best draft for us on paper. And Scarlett won't get a contract yet. So let's advance today to see if all these guys accept. If any of them reject, though, obviously, we will try and re-sign them still. Hey, Stankoven did accept that contract. That's nice. And we got all our UFAs sorted out. Dostal rejected, actually, so he's the one that rejected. I wouldn't mind giving him a multi-year deal for now, till Dag is ready to take that step. So let's give him a 2-year deal at $6 million bucks. That'll help us also with our cap situation, but basically it gives us a chance to hold on to him, and then once Dag is ready to take that step to being our starter, Dostal is either a pending free agent or he's gone off the team by that point. So there we go. And then RFA wise, should we bring these guys back for the minors? I don't mind bringing back some of them, but I think 1-year deals is probably where I should do it. Some of them are going to end up getting scratched though. We'll probably let go of Kuzmin and Lundmark though, because I think we have a lot of defensemen in the minors, right? Or do we not? Let's go in the system. Who is under contract on the defensive core in the minors at the moment? Only 4 defensemen. So you know what? We'll bring back both those guys, I guess, just to play it safe, because we want to make sure we have enough defenders and we don't have forwards playing defense and vice versa. So we'll re-sign them on 1-year deals as well for the minors. And that should be everybody signed up, hopefully. Looks like everybody accepted. Nice. Okay, that was pretty easy. We still have $49 million in cap space, and we have only 9 contract spots. That's going to be interesting. So what do we got in terms of our roster going into next season? So likely it's Dostal and Ellis, and then AHL-wise Dag and Grant for another year. Ivanov as well. Defensively, we got Morrissey, Hainola, Kairu, Kolyachonok, Salamonson, Galvis, Lundmark. So we could potentially use some more defenders. Unless you guys want me to run Salamonson, Galvis already. Which, I mean, I could do that because both of them are at maybe make or break points. What else we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 with Hemming. 5 with Groshek, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We might be okay on the forward side of things. Because if we go 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Technically, Hemming could be back in the minors for 1 more year. Same with Connor. Same with Misa. Groshek as well. So I think I'll probably end up running all these 12 forwards. So Kumpelainen and upwards in the NHL. Which means we need to just sign maybe some depth pieces. Because we know we want to have a bad season next year. So I think we might have most of our roster set up. But we will need those cap whales of depth options for our team. On offense especially. And we could sign more defensemen. But I honestly don't know if we want to. We probably will end up signing more defensemen. But I don't know if we need that much. Because I think Galvis could maybe take another year in the minors. Salamonson is kind of at that make or break point, I feel like, almost. So I don't really know if we need too much free agency wise, but we definitely need cap whales. Okay, let's jump to free agency and see what's available. We'll also take a look at the trading block, and then that'll be it for this episode. So what is available free agency wise? Is there anything in terms of younger guys that could actually help this team out and being like kind of stopgaps Let's see. Or any depth options that we could bring in. I'll just go by each position. Wow, are you kidding me? Oh, he's an RFA. I was going to say, did Buffalo not bring back Devin Levi? But he is an RFA at the moment. Okay. But yeah, if you guys see anything intriguing, please let me know down below, because I'm not going to look super in-depth at this right now, I don't think. There's a couple of younger goalies here with Malik and Suchanik. So a couple Czechian goalies. Huh. Interesting. So we could bring in some of these if we want to, but we already have a lot of goalies, so it's not really needed. Defensively, somewhere where we could add to, if we want to bring in younger defensemen, like Sandin's 27, Brandstrom, that's a little bit too good, though. We don't want to really bring in somebody that's going to make us a playoff team, though, because I kind of think we want to take next year where we're just not even a playoff team, we're rebuilding. Let's see. Anybody intriguing? It's young. There's Knyazyev, who I think we used to have, right, in the first year? I don't know, it was the other defenseman, right? No, it was him. It was him. We let him go. He's up to an 80 overall at 26. That's not bad. I mean, we could bring him back if we want to bring him back a defenseman. What else is there for younger defenders out there? Regula again. There's McIsaac, so similar type of guys. There's Harris as well. So we do have options for young defensemen to bring in if we want to. Put those guys in instead of like Salamonson, Drew Helleson. In terms of offense, like I said, we don't really need much other than depth options. Is there anybody young? Raphael Lavoie is not bad, 26. He does want $2.5 million though, which is quite a bit. Is there anybody else? 25-year-olds, I think his name's Brandon Coe? Yeah, Brandon Coe. That's not bad either. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad fourth line type of option or depth option for a team, is Brandon Coe. Will Dufour as well, but he's an AHL kind of player more so. So probably Brandon Coe would be the best on the right side. Left wing wise, let's see. Any young guys that got dropped? Fanasayev again, who we dropped. 25-year-old Elliot Desnoyers might be okay as well. And he is an RFA actually, so never mind. Because we're not trying to bring in RFAs. Ty Cartier. Yeah, Ty Cartier could be intriguing as well from Seattle. Yeah, he could be good. Pavel Dorofeyev as well. So we do have options for depth pieces, which is great. And Gabe Vilardi is going to be testing the free agent market after he was dealt to the Rangers last season by us, which is interesting. He's the best center available. Let's see. Any young centers? Jonathan Berggren is there. He's not bad either. I don't know why he's a 2-way forward, but still not bad. No, Gustafsson, who we'd let go of. So there is a couple stopgap type players. Hendrix Lapierre, maybe even 25. Yep. Hendrix Lapierre would be good too. There's a team actually interested in him as well. So maybe Hendrix Lapierre is a good addition. Brendan Brisson as well. So we definitely have some options. In terms of undrafted prospects, is there any lowlights that went undrafted out of curiosity? Because I don't know if we're at that stage yet where the free agent pool has a lot of undrafted guys. Doesn't look like it yet. But in the next few years, we could definitely take advantage of that. Where there's going to be guys that go undrafted that are decent. But right now, at the moment, doesn't seem like it. So there is that. Let's take a look at the trade block briefly. And see if there's anything that would be worth trading for. Even though I don't think there's anybody on our roster I would really want to move out. Also, definitely next episode, I think, is Misa's contract extension. So I think I got to definitely do that. Just because I got to lock him up on an 8x8. Okay, that's an intriguing prospect. Boston has a medium elite defensive prospect on the block by the name of Vaclav Kubos. He is only a 76 at 19. But that's kind of intriguing. I don't know what we'd have to give up to get some of those defensive prospects, but I don't know if it's worth trading stuff to get these guys. Like Kubos and Pritchett look pretty good, especially Kubos. There's also a medium elite center in Per Jogan that Buffalo has on the block, former 5th overall pick. Ivan Per Jogan. Played a really good rookie season in Rochester. That would be a really nice addition. But we already have some really good centers too, so I don't think we need that. But there is some younger players on the block, which is kind of nice. Funny seeing Nick Ehlers on the block in Chicago. Nothing really there Colorado-wise. I don't know if we're going to really make any trades. I feel like signing is probably just the best bet because obviously we don't want to give up assets and we don't want to risk losing out on good prospects to move for other good prospects in other areas we need. Like, we have an abundance of forward prospects, but the defensive prospect pool definitely needs some work on it. So I don't know if we trade some forward prospects to get defensive prospects, so that way we're addressing our needs a little bit, or we just kind of keep up with what we have almost and sign those stopgaps and then draft good players we need. Nick Hague on the block in the Rangers. Kind of funny that a lot of players I dealt ended up getting thrown on the block. Not a lot there on the block either. So there was a couple pieces early on, but now it just seems like it's mostly veterans or late picks that we don't need. St. Louis, Bjorkstrand. Joel Hofer is not bad, but he's 26 already at this stage. Morgan Riley on the block is kind of funny. Thatcher Demko on the block. No, thank you. But yeah, this rebuild is going to be interesting. I think next year, if we have a very bad season, it will be great because we'll be able to get ourselves some good prospects in, hopefully on the defensive side of things, and hopefully we get a lot of good development from these top prospects that we have that are going to be jumping in, because we hypothetically should have an abundance of rookies jumping in next season. Like, let me take a look at this again. Like, Lambert's going to be a rookie potentially. Kumpalainen might be a rookie next season. Lindstrom might be a rookie next season. Hellenius might be a full-on rookie next season. Salamonson might be a rookie. Like, there's a lot of guys. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to free agency, and we'll start up the next season simulation and see what this team's looking like. I don't think we're going to simulate too well, but I'm very excited to see this youth movement go forward with this team, and obviously see if there's a lot of good development, if we draft a lot more good players. But I think this team will definitely start to make it back to the playoffs in the next few years once a lot of the guys on our team start developing to those like 83 plus overall range. So let me know think that below, and I'll see you guys next time.